class, we shall discuss further on the Fourier transforms. So we will discuss on the continuous time Fourier transform, discrete time Fourier series and Fourier transform. We will see the analogy between these Fourier transforms. Okay. So what is if in one domain, time domain, if they have some properties, how do they reflect in the frequency domain? Okay. So, and what information is extracted in the frequency domain? These things we discuss in this class. And following up, we will discuss discrete time Fourier transform expression. We will see for some signals how the discrete time Fourier transform can be found. And we will also see the when it exists and when it doesn't exist. And we will also see some of the examples for in signals and systems contest, the use of application of discrete time Fourier transform. Okay, so I'm sharing this screen now. Yeah, let me know whether you are able to see the screen or not.
Yes, sir, we are.
Yeah, fine. So this is what we discussed in the last class. We discussed about the continuous time Fourier series. Okay, how to express any given signal in continuous time Fourier series, and how the coefficients can be identified or obtained when we want to express any x of t, in continuous time Fourier series, right? So I hope you are able to see this, right? So while discussing this, what property did we use? Did we said that help for writing the corresponding quotients? I request one of the other student to answer. Yeah, quickly you should answer. Are you there or not? Hello?
So this is Fourier series, sir.
Yes, yes. This is continuous time Fourier series. Okay. In this, we said there is some property, okay, that helps to find AK, BK, and A naught very fast. So what is that property?
Orthogonality, sir.
Yeah, orthogonality of
cos and sine terms.
Yeah, cos and sine terms. Very good. So that's based on that we usually derive and explicitly write the value the expressions for A naught, AK, and BK. So in the last class we have not explicitly written those expressions, but I think will you be able to tell now quickly? So let me write here itself. I will write. So okay. So what is the expression for BK? We'll start from here. So I place this and then I will write here as well. Yeah. So what is the expression for this? Those who might have remembered from their continuous time Fourier series. Correct or not? You should tell before I write here, as I told before. Okay. Fine. Is it correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, fine. What is the expression here? AK equal to? What should I write?
2 by t
2 by t.
integration of minus t by 2 x of t into cos and omega naught t. Cos k.
Yeah. Okay. So cos k omega naught t dt. Okay. Because k we have here, so we write k omega naught t. Okay. Fine. So similarly, what is this expression here? Any other student can tell quickly? Request another student to tell.
2 by
Yeah.
by t, sir.
Yeah, 2 by t.
Integration, sir.
Yeah.
Minus t by 2 to t by 2, sir. xt
Yeah,
sine
just
k.
minus t by 2 to t by 2 or 0 to t by 2 is also fine. xt, okay,
Sine
sine
k
k, hmm,
omega t.
omega naught t,
T. Omega dt.
okay, because k omega naught is given. So fundamental frequency is given. Okay, so based on that, we will express all these things. Okay, fine. So time period. So usually, if the signal x of t is periodic, so anyway, from the periodic signal, we can calculate the time period, right? So this becomes t. So this is what is used in this expression, right? So once the signal is given, it means that the period is given, fundamental period is given. Okay. So and that is used, make use. So that is that determines omega naught. Okay, and that is made use in these calculations. Fine or not?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, fine. Okay. So, though anybody has derived this? Did anyone try to derive this, finding this integrals and what the values are? You should do it. Okay, you should do it at least once when I ask in the class. Okay, if you do it, you will appreciate really and you remember also what has happened. See, if I ask you after say few months, what are these expressions? Oh, you should not by heart and tell. So you should know, say if you have done this derivation, you know that, so t by 2 you will get for this integration. So similarly, inverse of this is 2 by t you will get. Okay. Right. So now let us move on to the discussion on, okay, so continuous time Fourier transform. So here on we won't derive anything. So we will try to directly write and infer what they are. So in continuous time Fourier transform is applied for what? What kind of signals? Quick answers I wish to get.
A periodic
From you.
signal.
Yeah, for periodic signal or aperiodic signal?
Non-periodic signal.
Yeah, non-periodic signals. Okay, non-periodic signals. Periodic and then what kind of signals? Continuous time. Okay, signals. Because anyway, we are saying continuous time Fourier transform. So x of t, let it be non-periodic and continuous. What I want is its frequency content or the say frequency domain representation I would like to get. So what should I do now? See, okay. So one thing, before I move on to the continuous time Fourier transform, okay, I will write here. So continuous time Fourier series. See, whatever we have written before, this is referred to as trigonometric Fourier series. I hope you people know, right? So can you tell how exponential Fourier series can be written? Fourier series. How to write exponential Fourier series expressions? Can one of you quickly say CK let they be continuous time Fourier series quotients? Then how should I write this?
1 by t naught.
Okay, 1 by t. Okay, we are using 1 by t all through. Okay.
T integration of integration minus t by x of t into e to the power of minus jk omega naught t dt.
Yeah. So what are we doing in this while writing this? Okay. So can you tell what is happening here? So what is this operation doing? What is this operation doing? I request any other student to comment. What is this operation doing?
X of t is correlating with e power jk and omega jk
Right.
omega naught t.
There is a signal. Okay. So whatever may be the signal. Okay, if there is signal, okay. So what we are trying to do is in one time period, okay, we are trying to see how much of this frequency is there, okay, correlation with respect to this frequency, and similarly correlation with respect to this frequency, okay, and so on. We are trying to see the correlation of this with respect to different frequencies and giving each as a one term. So if this is k equal to 1 case, okay, for k equal to 1, if this is the one, and k equal to 2, this is the one, what I get the correlation between these two. Correlation means dot product and sum of elements. Okay, correlation with this signal and this signal gives me C1. Similarly, correlation with this gives me C2. Is it correct or not? Are you
Sir.
able to understand? Okay, correlation with respect to this. So you can here, in fact, you did not consider this thing. Okay, just consider one cycle to make your things easy. Okay, if I just consider one cycle. Okay, so then what I'm doing essentially is in one cycle, so roughly in one cycle, I'm trying to see the correlation and give that value as C1, C2, and so on. This in fact, but it's a periodic signal. In fact, these are also periodic signals, right? You know, right? So that's what we are doing. So this is being done in trigonometric Fourier series. But what is done in this exponential Fourier series? What is done in exponential Fourier series? Quick answer. Yeah. Can one of you tell or not? Who is there? Kartikeya is there? Harish? Anjana? So class is there or not there?
There, sir, class is there.
Yes, what's happening? You people should tell quickly. Okay. So these are all the known things, right? So I don't think these are new to you people. We are just trying to bring in slightly different understanding for these things, or highlighting some of the important points to understand these equations better, or what are they doing to understand them better. Except that, is there anything new here? Yeah. So any of the three students I just mentioned, are they in the class or not?
Karthik has semester exam, sir, so he's not there.
Okay. Who else are there?
Sir, I'm Hari, sir.
Yes, tell Harish.
No idea, sir.
So what is this, say, what is this doing? Exponential Fourier series.
Sir, in exponential,
Huh?
we are finding two sides of spectrum in
What is
exponential Fourier series.
X of t? It is doing? What is it doing? Somebody has told something.
In trigonometric Fourier series, we are finding only positive side of the spectrum. In exponential series, will be there in both sides, negative sides or positive sides.
So what we are doing is, see, we will see the importance of e power exponential signal little later. Okay. So that, say, what we are trying to do is, this gives a single and compact representation of the Fourier series. Okay, instead of having sine and cos terms differently. And this, what it does is, say, e power, what you can say, cos k omega naught t, okay, minus j sine k omega naught t. Is it not? If you expand this e power minus j k omega naught t, what is this expansion? Is nothing but this. So if I am integrating with respect to this, so what is happening? If you just separate through linear property, we are finding cosine, the correlation with cosine term as well as sine term, and making some nice combinations. Say fundamental frequency correlation is C1. Okay, fundamental frequency correlation with sine and cos terms are C1. Fundamental twice second harmonic. Okay, correlation of sine and cos terms are C2 and so on. Correct or not? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
That's what we are doing here. Okay. Right. Okay. So fine. So now let us move on. So how do I get x of t here? Anjana, you are there? X of t equal to, you're there or not there?
Summation of
She's not there. Okay.
summation
N
k equal to minus
k equal to
minus infinity to infinity. Minus infinity to infinity.
okay.
Ck into e power jk omega naught.
That's all. Okay. This gives us the Fourier series. Okay. So this is the Fourier series pair. Okay. So now let us move on to Fourier transform. Okay. Continuous time Fourier transform. Yeah. I request another student to quickly tell. See, you as you know that we will discuss anyway Fourier transforms in the next class. Please revise and come. Okay. I would hope that you answer quite quickly, reasonably well, wherever the details are already you might have studied in your previous courses. Okay. So if you don't answer, it gets delayed only for you. Okay. So instead of 1 hour class, we will take 1.5 hours. So or even more. So I will not be able to leave unless the details are here. Okay. Fine. So how do we write the continuous time Fourier transform? See, here we are finding the correlation with exponentials, right? So here also exactly same thing we will do in continuous time Fourier transform, except that, okay, correlation with what do we do now? Exponential of minus j. What should I write here? Anybody can quickly tell?
J omega t
Omega t
into dt.
and integration from where to where?
Minus infinity to infinity.
Minus infinity to infinity.
Infinity. Why is it from minus infinity to infinity? No answer.
Time period of periodic signal is infinity.
What is that?
A periodic signal, sir.
X of t period is not.
Okay, so it's not periodic signal. So if you want to find the frequency content, then you have to integrate from minus infinity. You have to take all the signal into account. Okay, fine. So now how do I get x of t now? See, I just changed the notation for omega. Please bear with that. So in fact, it is preferable to write here also that omega in this discussion. Okay, so just to have a uniformity for us. Okay, so everywhere this omega is omega naught, other omega. Okay. So here also omega naught only. Okay. Okay. Fine. So now tell how do I write x of t?
1 by 2 by.
Yeah. X of t is equal to 1 by 2 pi integral
Minus infinity to infinity.
Okay.
X of j omega into e power j omega t.
J omega t in
dt.
what is d
Omega, sir.
omega. Okay. So request each time different students to answer. Okay. Fine. So now this is what you get. So it finds here, as you can see in continuous time Fourier transform also, we are trying to find the correlation of x of t with respect to a complex exponentials with the different frequencies. Okay. Similarly, in Fourier series, you can clearly see, say fundamental frequency, harmonic, and so on. You are trying to correlate and get CKs. Okay, but here you can't see because we are trying to use continuum of frequencies. Okay. So and then exponential with continuum of frequencies and get their correlation, get the x of j omega. Okay. So now if I want to bring in relation between these two, how do I relate? Ck and x of j omega omega, if I want to relate, can one of you tell quickly? Are they related or can I relate them? X of j omega, can I relate them? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, how do I relate?
So relate means if we substitute x of t expression there,
Omega equal to what? Okay, that's all. So when you consider omega equal to k omega naught, okay, so then Ck will sample roughly the corresponding frequency. Okay, corresponding to k equal to 1 omega naught frequency you will get from x of j omega. Okay, similarly k equal to 2 C2 you will get from x of j omega at 2 omega naught and so on. Okay, so roughly this is a rough idea of relating them. Okay, see, one more thing to note here is, see, if the signal is periodic in time domain, what is its implication in the frequency domain? Say if it is periodic in time domain, one domain, okay, what's its implication in frequency domain? If the signal is periodic in one domain, what is its implication in frequency domain?
Discrete in frequency domain.
Yeah, discrete in frequency domain. Okay, and if the signal is, okay, continuous in one domain, is there any implication? Say if the signal is continuous in one domain, is there any,
Periodic.
Aperiodic.
yeah, the
Aperiodic.
spectrum is aperiodic. Okay, so this you see not necessarily only in say time domain to frequency domain. So this works both ways. Okay, if any signal is periodic in one domain, it is discrete in another domain, and if the signal is discrete, spectrum is periodic. Okay, similarly, if it is continuous, it becomes aperiodic, and if it is aperiodic, it becomes continuous. Okay, so in another domain. So this is both ways. Is it clear or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So we will see why. Okay, some inference we will try to make in the next. Page. Yeah. Right. So now let us move on to the discrete time Fourier transform. Okay, and discrete time Fourier series. Okay, let us move on to the discrete time Fourier transform first. See, how do I write discrete time Fourier transform? Say, how do you get discrete signals, by the way? So if you have any continuous signal, okay,
by sampling.
Sampling the continuous signal.
so you need to sample to get the discrete signal. So how do we do sampling? So here anyway, I will discuss the details of sampling and other things in more detail later. But to bring out some points, I need to introduce these things at this point of time itself. Okay, yeah. So how do we do sampling? What is the principle of, say, if I give you any continuous time signal, okay, so from here, even if I want to make that the signal is like this, okay, so any continuous time signal, if I just want to do sampling, what should I do? Can one of you tell quickly?
By multiplying with impulses, sir.
Yeah, I should multiply with some impulses. Good. So I may multiply with some impulses. Okay, so assume that there are some impulses. So usually impulses are say at regular durations. I may start anywhere. Okay, so this I should multiply with, in fact, with, for multiplication we write dot star. No, we follow the MATLAB notation here. Okay, the multiplication, element by element multiplication. Okay, convolution is star. Okay, so here this is x of t. Okay, so what should I write for this? Impulse train, if I want to mathematically represent, what should I represent with? How should I represent with?
Summation k.
Summation. Okay.
K equal to minus infinity
Yeah.
del of n minus k.
K equal to minus infinity del of
n minus k.
N minus k.
K, sir.
N minus k.
See, is this in continuous time or in discrete time? See, this is in continuous time. This impulse train, should I consider in continuous time or in discrete time?
Discrete, sir.
See, how can I say one discrete signal, one continuous time signal? Can I multiply like that? Can I multiply? What do you think? Say discrete time signal means I will start 1, 2, 3, 4, I will tell. Okay, what is meaning of 1 here? If I put 1 as a discrete time signal, say I will put, okay, as you said, 1, 2, and so on. Okay, I will say that this is not t and this is n. Okay, what is the meaning of this 1 then? What is meaning of 1? Some answer is expected, you know, right? Feel free to speak out. Okay, so this is just for bringing the discussion. I will keep asking questions. So if you don't speak out, I think our class unnecessarily gets delayed.
Sample, sir. First sample.
Yeah, first. But first sample, when is it taken? So if I do sampling, first sample, when do I take?
0, sir.
At 0, fine, very good. Next sample,
1.
1 means what? It doesn't have any meaning. 1 second or 1 minute or 1 hour or say, I can tell any number. 1 millisecond or something else.
Sampling period, sir.
1 after 1 time period. Very good. So usually take a sample. The sample is taken after 1 time period. Okay. But the time period is hidden. When I write n alone, okay, index n, the time period I may even don't specify also sometimes. Purely discrete signal, when I say, I don't even specify time period. Okay. So then how can I multiply? Say if this is 1 second, I have to multiply here. 1 minute, I may have to multiply here, from here to here. How do I know it? So what can you conclude now?
Del of t minus kt, sir.
That is fine. But what should we conclude initially first?
It is continuous, sir.
Yeah, it is continuous. I can multiply only one continuous time signal with another continuous time signal. I can't multiply discrete signal and continuous signal like that. Right? Okay. So then these things are actually after some time period. So here also some time period. Okay. So time period be let be t. That is fine. Okay. That is fine. But this t is in some units of t. Okay. Small t. Okay. So now I will multiply. So how do I write this impulse train now? Tell me. Some answer from one of the student who has not replied is better. Yeah, tell quickly.
Del of t minus kt, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, tell.
Del of t small t minus k into capital T, sir.
Okay. Okay. So this is del of small t minus k times capital T. Very good. Okay. So this is the impulse train I have. Very good. So now by multiplying these two, okay, you said we will multiply these two, element by element multiplication. What do I get now? By multiplying these two, x of t, okay, into del of t minus kt, what do I get? Quick answer again.
X of t divided by KTS infinity to infinity, sir.
What do I get? X of
Summation over minus infinity to infinity x of t minus KTS, sir.
KT. Okay, so I will get this. So for all K. Yes or no? Okay, if I do element by element multiplication, what I'm extracting is sample signal X S of K, I can tell. Okay, so if I use index N, I can use N. Okay. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get a sample signal. Still, this sample signal is in which domain? Sample signal is in which domain?
Time domains.
Still in continuous time domain. All are in time domain. Still in continuous time domain. Okay. So when I drop this T, and then I will say that it is in discrete domain. Okay. Fine. So I will do multiplication. So any another student. So can I simplify? How do I simplify this? Okay, I will do anyway simplification. I am not interested in simplification straight away. See, we want to see, especially we have seen just now, if something is periodic in one domain, it is becoming discrete in another domain. Or if something is discrete in one domain, it is becoming periodic in another domain. We just want to see why it's happening like that. So does anybody has a clue? How do I derive it? If this is discrete in one domain, say time domain, why does it become periodic in frequency domain? I just want to show it. Can anybody have some answer or some procedure to understand that?
So if it is periodic, sir, we can sample it at a regular interval. That is why it becomes discrete, sir.
What is that?
Sir, if it is periodic, sir, we can sample it at a regular time period, sir. So that is why it converts into discrete into another domain.
If one in time domain, if it is periodic, what you are saying?
We can sample it at a regular time period, sir.
No. Why you are saying sampling in say let it be continuous time periodic signal? Then where is sampling there?
So.
So the question here is, any signal is periodic in one domain, it is becoming discrete in another domain. Okay, or if the signal is discrete in one domain, it is becoming periodic in another domain. We are trying to see the reason for this. How do I show at least some idea of it? That's my question.
The Fourier transform of the signal.
Yeah. So we see, since we are trying to see from one domain to another domain, first find the Fourier transform of this. Okay. So here I am sampling. So I am converting this to discrete signal now. Okay, this is a discrete. Finally, this is okay. What after conversion? This one excess of K or excess of N is discrete, right? So now I want to see what if I take Fourier transform, what will happen? This is discrete here. Okay, I got one side. Okay, so let us take XS of J omega. Okay, Fourier transform, I assume that I have taken. Okay, so how should I write this Fourier transform of this?
X of omega convolution.
X of J omega. Okay, Fourier transform, I know. This is all continuous time. Okay, continuous time Fourier transform only. Okay, X of J omega into a convolution. See, multiplication in time domain is equal to convolution in frequency domain. Though we have not proved this, I hope you people might have proved in your earlier classes. For now, you take it granted. Okay, so multiplication in in one domain in time implies convolution in frequency domain. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this I think you people might have remembered. So now what is the Fourier transform of this delta train? This is called delta train. Okay, this name by name, this is delta train. What is Fourier transform of this? Did anybody remember?
It will be 2 pi into summation like some CK.
Okay. Okay, good. I will write here.
Trains.
Okay, don't right now bother about it. It also becomes a delta train in frequency domain. Okay. Into k here. This k is a running variable. Okay, this k. So sorry, I will write here n. Okay, even though we started with k here in bit. So n is our convenient thing here. Okay, in time domain we keep n. Let's keep n everywhere. Okay, let's keep n everywhere. Okay, and here is k. This is in frequency domain. When we write in frequency domain, any variable will let us keep k. Okay. So hope you people can. I think let me see if I can get a smaller array. Okay, it's okay. Right. So from this, what can I tell? So I have written here, but from this, what can I tell? I will write. Meanwhile, I will fill this, but you people tell. From this, what do you think I can tell? What does it infer? Just I have written as convolution and that is fine. So what does it infer? See what I'm trying to do, x of e power j omega. Let this, see this is x of t, right? So don't bother about the shape of the spectrum. Let the spectrum be like this. Okay, so I just wrote some spectrum. Let this be band limited spectrum. Okay, if you don't want this nice spectrum for this, okay, so we will put some, okay, assume that some spectrum like this. Okay, so this is the, and we will terminate somewhere. Okay, just to have a band limited one. Okay, so let this be x of j omega. I am just giving an example. I am trying to convolve with what? I am trying to convolve with what here?
Impulse trains.
Impulse train. Okay, so in which domain? Impulse train in which domain?
Frequency domain.
Frequency domain.
Yeah, impulse train in frequency domain. Okay, so this is omega domain. And what is this domain? This is also omega domain. Okay, so now if I do this, so I have spaced very badly. Assume that there is enough spacing as well. Okay, just for getting the better ease of understanding. So something like this. So if we have like this, so if I do convolution, what will happen? Tell me. Assume that if I do convolution with this and this, okay, we are not bothered about explicit things that will happen. But if I do convolution between this and this, what do you think will happen?
So the x of j omega
X of j omega is repetitive.
Yeah. So any signal with a delta signal will make it appear at that location. Correct or not? So see, if I do convolution, see, I will sketch with another pen. Okay. So the convolution result I will sketch with another pen, another color. Okay. Let me just write this convolution also with that color. Okay. So this convolution, if I do, the result will be correct or not? Result will be something like this. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah, because what will happen? The convolution operation will make it to repeat around that particular delta location. So this delta, this may be 0. Okay, so this may be minus 2 pi by t, and this may be 2 pi by t. Okay, and this duration may be something. Okay, so it may say if this duration is nicely is equal to pi by t. Okay, just for simplicity, I have just made all these assumptions. Okay, it is not pertaining to any particular signal. So if this is the case, then what will happen? This keep repeating like this. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because of the convolution with the delta functions, okay, multiplication of delta function is making discrete. Convolution with delta functions is making what operation? Multiplication with delta function is making discrete, and convolution with delta functions is making
Continuous.
what operation?
Periodics, repetitive.
Repetitive.
Okay, convolution is operation making, okay, periodic. Okay, this operation is making periodic. Okay, or this operation is making periodic. Fine. With whom convolution? Convolution with delta functions. Okay, so convolution with delta functions is making this periodic. Okay, fine or not? So multiplication of delta functions here is making discrete. Discrete is because, okay, multiplication with the delta functions. So if any signal is discrete in one domain, it becomes periodic in another domain. And if the signal is periodic in one domain, what will happen? It's in another domain. What will happen in another domain?
Discrete, sir.
Yeah, it becomes discrete. That's all. So if there is a periodicity in one domain, it gets captured as discrete, or it just represented as discrete in another domain. Similarly, if it is discrete in one domain, it represents it reflected as periodic in another domain. Fine. Is this understanding clear? Is this discussion clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, if anybody has any doubts, you should ask me quickly. Yeah, this is what we have seen. Similarly, say continuous to aperiodic also will happen. Okay, right. We will leave that discussion further. Okay, and move on. So by this process, you are also clear on what the sampling process does. Okay, if you multiply like this, you get the samples. If you drop this capital T, then it becomes discrete signal. Okay, and then the in spectrum, this is what it happens. Okay, hope this is clear, right? Okay. So if you don't have any questions, we will move on. Okay, this is not discrete signal, sample signal. Okay. Right. So now let us see the discrete time Fourier transform. So we have seen here the sampling. So let us now see discrete time Fourier transform. Okay. So let us say from excess of n. Okay, excess of nt, which you have seen. Okay, drop t. So you get the discrete signal. Okay, this is sample signal. So in discrete signal, no information of t. If you want to get back to continuous time domain, okay, you should have t as well. Okay, so you are representing these two as two different pieces of information now. Okay, so when you are dropping, say till here, so one means, okay, 1 into t, 2 means 2 into t. T may be 0.3 milliseconds as well. Okay, but whereas here, you don't have, you are separately mentioning about t. Okay, xn is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's all. A purely discrete signal. Okay, so that means time axis is quantized. Okay, our time axis is discretized. Okay, fine. Okay, so now, yeah, now tell. So if I want to extract some variations in the x of n in terms of some frequency content or in terms of some correlation with respect to the complex exponentials, discrete complex exponentials. Now, what should I do? What should we do? Discrete time Fourier transform, you please define. Those who remember. None of you remember? Who are there in the class? At least I should know your names, right? Over time. Nikhil, will you be able to tell now? What is discrete time Fourier transform? You are there or not?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you tell. Will you be able to tell or not?
I have not remembered.
Yeah, fine, good. So anybody else? Other than Nikhil, you tell your name and tell your tell this discrete time Fourier transform. How do I write?
Harshavardhan, sir. Harshavardhan, sir.
Yeah, Harshavardhan, you already told, I think.
Sir, x of n equal to?
Who is this?
Praveen Kumar, sir.
Praveen Kumar. Okay, good. Tell Praveen.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
1 by 2 pi integral minus pi to pi x of e power j omega into e power j omega and d omega.
See, I don't want frequency domain to time domain. I am in time domain now. I want some frequency domain content. How do
X
I
of
get?
e power j omega equal to
Okay,
summation n j omega.
Summation. Okay, summation over
Summation n
n.
is equal to minus infinity to infinity.
Very good.
X of n e power minus j omega n.
Omega.
Minus j omega n.
Right, that's all. Very good. See, why did this is fine. So what is this doing? In discrete time Fourier transform, what are we doing? So verbally you should be able to tell what are we doing. Same Praveen, you can tell. What are we doing by this expression? Yeah, Praveen, tell. If you can't tell, you can also tell that I'm not sure, sir, or I am not clear.
Sir, not clear, sir.
Okay. Fine. Did you clear on what did we discuss when I discuss about continuous time Fourier transform?
Yes, sir. We are correlating another signal x of t with some exponentials.
Exponentials of
complex
different
exponentials.
Complex exponentials of different frequencies.
Time signal.
Yeah. So
yes, sir,
now continuous time complex exponentials of different frequencies. Now you tell me, what are we doing here?
Now we are correlating discrete signal with some different frequencies of complex signal.
Yeah, here we are correlating with the given discrete with what? With discrete complex. Okay, that's all right. So of different frequencies anyway. That's why we are capturing different frequencies in the right hand side, right? So that's what we are doing. Okay, we are just trying to create with complex exponentials of different frequencies and gather their quotients or gather their strengths. Okay, in the x of e power j omega. Correct? Right. Okay. So why is this x of e power j omega here, whereas x of j omega is written here? Did anyone answers this? Why is x of e power j omega? Niharika.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Don't know, sir.
Yeah, fine. Harshavardhan, will you be able to tell?
No, sir. Don't know, sir.
Huh?
Don't know, sir.
Don't know. Fine. See, x of what is different between e power j omega? See, is this e power j omega n if I write, for example? Okay, let this be some signal. Okay, I am not bothered about say let this be x of n. Okay, if I just write like this. This signal, does it has any property? If I write this signal like this, does this has any property?
Periodicity properties.
What? Yeah, it has periodicity. Okay, it is periodic with what period? It is periodic with what period?
Omega.
No, so if especially in terms of omega, if I want to show in frequency domain, okay, not in time domain, okay, so n naught I will put so that actually things makes clear. So x of omega. So I will just write x of omega, function of omega. Then it is periodic with what period? N naught is a discrete number. Omega, it is periodic with roughly, so if we keep even n naught equal to 1, for example, it is periodic with
2 pi.
2 pi. Okay, so it is just simply periodic with 2 pi. Okay, so that's does the Fourier transform, discrete time Fourier transform, also has any such property? You people might have seen discrete time Fourier transform before, right? Okay, so does it has any such property?
It repeats with 2 pi, periodic with.
Yeah, it is also periodic with 2 pi. Okay, so that is what is being seen here. Okay, so if I just take e power j omega, so in fact keeping even n not equal to 1, okay, so it is periodic with 2 pi. Same thing happens even for discrete time Fourier transform. Okay, so after you compute discrete time Fourier transform, right? Okay, so that is why x of e power j omega is shown here instead of direct to omega, j omega, right? Okay, so now let us see how to write x of n from if x of e power j omega is given. How to write x of n? So how do we get back the time domain signal back from the frequencies if they are given? So that means x of e power j omega is given. Okay, in some sense the correlation with negative exponentials are e power minus j omega n's are given. Okay, how do we get x of n? Can you complete this expression quickly? Any other student? Please tell your
1 by 2 pi.
Yeah, tell your name.
Praveen sir.
Praveen, okay, Praveen, you told. Any other student? I just want to know the names of your students because
Harish, sir.
Harish. Okay, please tell Harish. Yeah, good.
1 by 2 pi.
1 by 2 pi.
Integration over minus pi to pi.
Okay, minus pi to pi. Why is minus pi to pi?
Because it's periodic over 2 pi, sir.
Yeah, periodic over 2 pi. Very good. Okay, then minus pi to pi.
X of e power j omega into
omega n
into d omega.
Okay, so this is what you get, how you get x of n. So what is this doing? Again, correlation with, see, this is the beauty of these expressions. So time domain to frequency domain, you are doing with e power minus j omega n. Frequency domain to time domain, you are doing e power j omega n. If we just see these two exponentials also, okay, so in some sense these two are orthogonal. Okay, so if I just so I am just trying to do in some sense the inverse operation of here with respect to this. Okay, if you just write in terms of a matrix and so on, okay, you can see that they have, even in signals, they have some orthogonal properties. Okay, fine. So now this is discrete for a transform. So what does, see, this is discrete, and hence, so what you can see in this spectrum is, since the signal is discrete, yeah, periodic. Okay, and similarly this is continuous. Okay, you can see that this is continuous. Okay, and hence the signal is what?
Periodic, sir.
Huh? Signal is periodic or aperiodic?
Aperiodics.
Yeah, this is aperiodic. Okay, so this is not periodic. Right? Okay. Similarly now, and aperiodic. Okay, just to complete our discussion, we will here define discrete Fourier series, discrete time Fourier series. Okay, so later we will see what is the relation between this and how exactly this comes from there, etc. Okay, we will not spend too much time on like currently on the discussion of how exactly this comes. Okay, but the definition wise we will complete just for the completion. Okay, so x of so if the Fourier transform also can be represented in discrete. Okay, so this is what we are trying to define is discrete Fourier series, in fact. So x of k, we will see more clearly how exactly this comes in this way. Okay, but I will just write here. This you people have seen or not? People have seen this or not?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I am considering over a period n. Okay, capital N. Then assume that the signal is now periodic in discrete domain. Okay, and then I am trying to write the frequency components of it. Okay, so then what it says is it is not necessary to have the all continuous frequencies or continuum of frequencies. It is good enough to sample 2 pi by n. Okay, multiples of frequencies of number capital N. Okay, capital N different frequencies are good enough to represent the signal. Okay. So in this, if you have any quick question, you can ask now. I will complete just writing this. Is this notation clear? What I am writing is understood? Is this clear what I am writing? The summation over n. What is this notation? Can one of you tell what is this notation I am using here? Yeah, quick answer would like to get.
Over period n.
Yeah, over one period of n. Okay, so you can take any period. You can start from anywhere and end anywhere, but you should be a continuous n samples. Okay, 0 to n minus 1 samples are minus n by 2 to just minus n by 2 to minus 1 samples. Okay, so something like this. So here also same. So this is in frequency domain. Okay, so this, so there is 1 by n somewhere. Okay, we will put it here. Okay. So this is how the discrete. So here from these relations. So how this and this are related. Those who remember, will you be able to tell? Or those who have understood before, will you be able to tell how these two are related? Omega equal to, these are samples, these frequencies are samples from these frequencies. Okay, where omega equal to what? Somebody will be able to tell or not?
2 pi by n.
2 pi by n.
Okay, 2 pi by n and into k. Okay, these are samples here. Okay, fine. So now we will move on to little more discussion on the discrete time Fourier transform. Okay, we will see 1 or 2 examples of discrete time Fourier transform. Okay, especially this, and try to see the previously we discussed about it has some importance, right? We will try to see its importance in terms of those, and we will also see when this can be taken and so on. Okay, we'll see 1 or 2 examples in this class and wind up. In the subsequent classes, we will discuss further. Okay, just to give a better picture of what discrete time Fourier transform is. So let's take x of n is equal to a power n u of n. This signal is one of the very well-known signals, right? So for this, I just want to find discrete time Fourier transform. Okay, so how do I proceed? For those who have not seen more examples before, okay, we'd like to discuss at least few examples while I move on. Yeah, how do I find discrete? One of the army officials, can you please tell? I just want to find discrete time Fourier transforms for this discrete time signal. How do we proceed? I request Girish or Manmeet or Pradeep to tell. Yeah, you're there or not?
Sir, there, sir.
No idea, sir.
Yeah,
So,
fine. Tell actually. At least if you are there, tell yes.
Sir.
Yeah, please tell. So I want x of e power j omega. So you can see here. Okay, I just want this. I have given you x of n. Okay, tell me what should I do? Yeah, tell very straightforward things you tell first. Then we will bother about little simplifications or anything else. So if x of n is given, if x of e power j omega, that is the discrete time Fourier transform representation of the signal, is to be obtained, what should be done?
We sample it, sir, by taking summation. Summation.
Yeah, summation j omega I want in this case.
Yes, sir. Summation minus infinity to minus infinity, sir.
Yeah, n equal to minus infinity, infinity. Okay.
X here it will come a raised to power n, sir, and u n, sir.
A u of n. Okay.
Yes.
Into what should I write?
E raised to power minus
j omega n.
Omega n. Fine. So essentially, those who know a little bit of linear algebraic things, we have seen at the beginning, right? So this is multiplication of the signal with basis functions. So here in discrete time Fourier transform, what are the basis functions? Our basis functions, our basic signals are complex exponentials, discrete complex exponentials itself. So if you see here, the basis functions are, okay, continuous time sinusoids or cosinusoids or exponentials for continuous time Fourier transform or Fourier series. Similarly, here in discrete time, discrete exponentials are nothing but the basis functions of different frequencies. Okay, that's what we are now multiplying with. Okay, trying to get corresponding frequency or strength in the signal. Okay, fine. So now how I just want to simplify this. Yeah, tell request another army official to take it forward. What is the next step? How can I simplify this?
So we'll have summation n varying from 0 to infinity. Un will be
okay.
E raised to power minus j omega n.
Right. So now what we did is you have utilize the function of u of n. Okay. So we have seen that u of n function is mainly to adjust the index I said, right? So previously in the previous class also we have seen that u of n role is to fix the index. Okay. That's what it has done now. Okay. And now you can see this. Okay. A power n u of n. Now request another army officer or the same army officers to take forward. What is this further? Is equal to. Can I write in simplified form? or in closed form?
Will
Say
be of
n.
whole raised to power n, sir. Like
Yeah.
alpha a e raised to power minus j omega whole power n.
Yeah, right. I have written that. And then what next? So this is what kind of series? No, geometric series. Okay, starting from 0.
1 over 1 minus
that mod a is less than 1. Okay, mod a is its absolute value is less than 1. Absolute value of e power j omega is how much? Is how much?
1.
Yeah, it is 1. Okay, so you can see that it is sin square plus cos square, it will be equal to 1. Okay, so and hence this will be less than 1, and hence I can write in geometric like closed form expression. So what will it be? What will it be? 1 by
1 minus a e raised to minus j omega.
That's all. Okay, so this is how the Fourier transform can be found. Okay, using the definition itself for many of the signals. Okay, for some you may need to adapt slightly different strategies or procedures that we will discuss later. But many of the signals you can use the definition itself. Is this fine or not?
Yes.
Yeah. If you want to sketch this x of e power j omega, how do you sketch? I request any other students to answer. Yeah, other than those who have answered, please tell your name and tell how do if I want to sketch this and visualize this frequency content. Okay, in time domain I just want to sketch this side, and just in frequency domain I want to sketch this side. How do I do it? At least tell. Actually, we need not see exact how they look like is not important. What should be done, you tell now. If
So we put omega values.
Yeah, I
omega.
keep values. Okay, 0, 0.1, 0.2 and so on, or minus 0.1, minus 0.5, so on. I will plot it. Fine. But if I plot it, what kind of numbers do you expect? Is it can I plot the values just after substitution? Anjana to tell.
By taking magnitude and phase.
Yeah. So they're all complex numbers. So what you have to plot here is a magnitude separately and phase separately. Okay. So what I suggest is magnitude. Okay, this is magnitude. Okay, and phase. I suggest you people to work at home and come back to me tomorrow. Okay, with these plots. Okay, so you keep substituting for some omegas. Okay, those who wish to use MATLAB can use MATLAB. Okay, you can take actually a equal to something. So since anyway mod a is less than 1, a equal to 0.8 you take. Example. So then if a equal to 0.8, x of n is equal to 0.8 power n. Okay, u of n. You take this. Okay, for this you try to find, you try to plot x of e power j omega and x of j omega, angle of x of j omega. In fact, even without taking you can plot, but anyway by taking also you plot. This simplifies this. Okay, right? So now see, this is fine, but if a is greater than 1, what will happen? If a is greater than 1, what will happen? Yeah, tell quickly. Request any other student. Anjana is there?
Sir, infinity.
Infinity. Who is this telling?
Sir, Harshavardhan, sir.
Yeah, Harshavardhan. Okay, fine. It's okay. So if a is greater than 1, it goes to infinity. So can I find Fourier transform at that time?
No, sir.
So for existence of Fourier transforms, there are some conditions. That means if I want to represent in frequency domain, okay, so there are some conditions. One condition is, see, Fourier transform first should exist. That means that Fourier transform should not go unbounded. Okay, so what is that condition saying that Fourier transform should not go unbounded? So how do I mathematically represent saying that Fourier transform should not go unbounded? Request any other student to answer.
Sir, summation k equal to infinity minus infinity. Mod s of x of n should be finite value, sir.
Okay. So summation, that's all fine. You told directly the answers, but actually I want the condition for existence of Fourier transform. That means Fourier transform should not go unbounded. That means mod of x of e power j omega, okay, should be less than infinity or finite. Fine or not?
Yes,
this is saying that Fourier transform is exists or it doesn't go unbounded. Okay. And this implies, as you said, so if you take this, okay, this implies with this you can show that the summation mod x of n, okay, n equal to minus infinity to infinity should be less than infinity for this to happen. Okay, for this, okay, you need this condition. Okay, so this is slightly upper bound, but this ensures this. Okay, if you have this, this ensures this. Is this clear or not? Huh? So this is again prove yourself. Okay. So since I think we have proved exactly similar things in the last class, I will not be proving now. Okay. So this ensures uniform convergence for the Fourier transform. If this happens, this ensures, okay, uniform convergence for the Fourier transform. What do you mean by uniform convergence? It implies that if you take Fourier transform, if you sketch the Fourier transform, okay, if you sketch the Fourier transform with respect to omega, if you sketch, okay, at any point, it will not go to infinity. Okay, that's what you mean by uniform convergence. Okay, it won't go to infinity. That is what is meant by uniform convergence. Okay, so there is other way of understanding the Fourier transform, that is through mean square error convergence. Can one of you tell? See, there are some signals. Say I will give you some signal. X of n is equal to 1. Okay, or x of n is equal to u of n. For these signals, have you seen writing Fourier transform by any time, by anyone, or cos omega naught n? Okay. Now these signals, have you seen for anybody writing Fourier transforms, discrete Fourier transforms or not? Discrete time Fourier transform. Yes or no?
No,
yes
sir.
or no? I am not hearing anything. No, you people have not seen? Say first thing, okay, x of n equal to 1. Have you seen Fourier transform or not? See, here itself we have written, right? So roughly impulse train we have taken. Okay, if I say that if this is discrete signal, you have again Fourier transform for it, discrete Fourier transform, which is again impulse train. So are we writing or not? Are we writing or not? Similarly, say x of n equal to 1. For this Fourier transform, you can write as delta function. Okay. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So there are some signals for which still we will write Fourier transforms. Okay, but they are not as convenient as the other signals which have the condition that at any location of, okay, at any location of frequencies, the Fourier transform is bounded. Okay, so it doesn't satisfy this condition, but still we can write the Fourier transform. See, for example, if x of n equal to 1, if I just write the Fourier transform, okay, if I write the Fourier transform, so x of for this one e power j omega. If I write Fourier transform, so did anyone remember what is its Fourier transform? 2 pi into, did anyone remember or not?
Summation of,
that's all, 2 pi into delta omega, because it's periodic, right? So summation you have to write ideally, okay, because it's periodic. I'm just writing omega, but if you prefer, we will write this with summation, okay. So it is for all happens. So 2 pi into summation delta of omega minus 2 pi, okay. K equal to minus infinity to infinity. Correct? Is this correct or not? Whatever I have written for this. Huh?
yes, sir.
Yeah, for this is what is the Fourier transform. Fine? Correct. So this you are able to write Fourier transform, but does this satisfy this condition? Mod of x of e power j omega is less than infinity. Does this satisfy this? Yes or no? I'm not hearing answers. Anyway, we will stop the discussion with this example itself. Okay. But answer
no,
this.
sir, it is not satisfying, sir.
Not satisfying. Because why is it not satisfied? Why is it not? Why? How are you telling that this is not satisfying?
Sir, if we summation, if you use the summation, you will get infinity, sir.
Okay, but summation, leave the summation even then. So because summation is not, say, this just telling that at any omega, okay, the amplitude, the magnitude should be less than infinity. That's all it is telling. This condition is not speaking about summation in frequency domain. In time domain, it is not satisfying. That is very clearly seen. But in frequency domain also, it is not satisfying, I'm saying. Do you agree with it or not? At omega equal to 0, what is its value? X of e power j omega. Yeah, I'm not hearing answers. Shall we stop here? See, at x of e power omega equal to 0, what is its answer? X of e power j omega. This
zero,
delta function. No, it is
0.
No, omega equal to 0, I'm saying. At omega equal to 0, okay, k also takes 0 value. So then, what is its value?
2 pi, sir.
2 pi. 2 pi into 1, is it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, but what kind of delta function is this? Continuous time delta function or discrete delta function? Is this continuous time delta function or discrete delta function? Yeah, tell, what do you feel? You tell. Is x of e power j omega continuous function or discrete function?
Continuous.
Yeah, so del of this delta function is continuous delta function or discrete delta function?
Continuous.
Yeah, continuous. So what will happen at particular value of omega equal to 0, it goes to infinity. Okay, even though the area around it is 1. Okay, so it doesn't satisfy this. Okay, so if the uniform convergence is not satisfied for x of n, okay, if x of n doesn't possess this property of, say, x of n doesn't possess the property of this, then x of e power j omega also doesn't possess the property of this. However, still you can define Fourier transforms, okay, in such cases, if say in this case, even this is a further exception, but even in such cases you can define Fourier transform, okay, from in under mean square convergence. Okay, the signals for which x of n okay, square sum of x of n is less than infinity. Okay, for these signals as well, you can define Fourier transform. Okay, you can define Fourier transform, and Fourier transform also converges in mean square sense. Okay, in the next class, we will see what is this mean square sense and all little bit with some example and then move on. Okay, but this is still an exception. Okay, even because I think for this even summation over x of n whole square also doesn't converge. Okay, that's why it like just I want to specify with this example that if this condition is not satisfied, then the x of e power j omega also will go unbounded, at least at some omega values. Okay. Fine. Is this fine or not? Is this discussion clear or not?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So any questions you can ask now. Okay, then we will stop the class now. So this we will discuss later, and a few more examples and systems, advantage of Fourier transform for systems, etc. We'll see later. System analyzing signals and systems later. And some properties of discrete time Fourier transform. We will see that in the next class. Yeah, any questions? Yeah, if you have any questions, quickly ask.
No, sir.
Okay, very good. Okay, so in general, how are the classes going? You people are able to understand?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay, so if you have any difficulty in understanding, okay, quickly let me know. That means, in fact, it is better in the same class if you let me know, so that I will clarify, take more time to clarify there. Okay, in case if still after the discussion, if you go through and still are not able to understand or any specific thing you would like to mention, please get back to me. Yeah. Fine. So,
Okay,
so shortly, probably by this Friday, we will try to give next assignment. Okay. So as I said, probably by 22nd, we will give next assignment. Okay. By that time, you be ready with some of the coding stuff, and also get in touch with the TAs if you have any further doubts there. Thank you then. Bye.
Bye, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, please share these notes also, sir, along with that video.
Okay, so I am just saving it, so I will send it mostly
Yes,
from class onwards. I will send. Yeah.
Yes.